our Pro Stock said 20 laps will be the distance. This is the way they are going to line up. The number 3 of Rick Dusckas will be inside row number 1. On the outside, that'll be Sid Harmer Sr. in the 690. Ryan Shanahan sits inside your second row, and on the outside, that'll be Mike White in the 1X machine. Sean Kirby, the number 3K, and Sid Harmer Jr.'s number 14R make up row number 3. Justin White, the number 7X, and Remington Marquette's number 18 are row 4. Row number 5, that'll be Gage Howard, the 21, and Terry Gardner's number 23. And row number 6, that'll be Stephen Gilmore in the number 6 machine. White flag being displayed to the field as we get ready to go here tonight with your Fabco Pro Street Stock feature. Getting ready to turn the ponies loose over in turn number 3 and 4. And Kurt Beckwith didn't like the looks of that one, so green flag will not wave.
No start, drivers.
2 by 2 as we go down to turn number 3 and 4. You see a couple of guys sagging again right in the middle of the pack. And now they're going to pull back up in line. We get ready to go. Green flag is in the air. Three wide as they went to turn number 1 and 2. Ryan Shanahan had a nose up underneath Rick Dusckas for a second, but Dusckas able to drive away from him on the top side of the speedway. They'll go racing down the backstretch. Outside of the racetrack, the 690 of Sid Harmer works down in the middle of the speedway. Here comes Rick Dusckas to the inside. One car slow down the backstretch. That is the Gage Howard number 21 machine. Howard's going to roll to a stop midway down the backstretch, and the yellow flag will wave. Sid Harmer is your leader in that 690, so he's chosen to go on the outside. Leader has lane choice, and he has picked the outside of the 3 of Rick Dusckas. They get ready to go back to green. Green flag back in the air again. Sid Harmer Sr. out of Governor drives to the top side of the racetrack, down the front stretch. Now Shanahan gets a good run to the inside of Rick Dusckas. Shanahan down to the bottom. Dusckas goes up the hill, opens the door. Shanahan puts a nose underneath him, but Dusckas able to race right back on the outside as they head to turn number 3 and 4. Sean Kirby also driving his way towards the front of the field. Here comes the 14 of Sid Harmer Jr. now as they work off turn number 4. Down the front stretch they will go. Sean Kirby very quickly coming towards the front. Looks right at the back of the Shanahan number 32. Tried to get a nose underneath him, but Shanahan does a nice job to keep the car pinned to the bottom of the racetrack. Down the backstretch. Now here comes Sid Harmer Jr. Look at this battle shaping up for the number 4 spot. Kirby down to the bottom of the racetrack. Sid Harmer Jr. to the inside. Kirby goes to the inside of the 32 of Ryan Shanahan, shoves him up the racetrack, and Kirby's going to take the spot away over in turn number 1 and 2. He'll drive up into the number 3 spot. Here comes Sid Harmer Jr. on the outside, though. Harmer and Kirby side by side once again, as they've done all year long, and now they're both going to try to split the number 3 of Rick Dusckas. Dusckas comes right in the middle of the racetrack. Sid Harmer Sr. pulling away from this battle as they come down to the turn number 1 and 2. Dusckas right in the middle of the racetrack. Kirby can't get a nose underneath him, and Sid Harmer Jr. can't get by on the outside. They work off turn number 2 down the backstretch. The number 3 of Rick Dusckas trying to make that car just about as wide as he can down to turn number 3 and 4. Dusckas holding on to the number 2 spot as they come off turn number 2. Sean Kirby drifts up. Here comes the 14 of Sid Harmer. Look at this 3 wide. They'll go down to turn number 1 and 2. Sean Kirby stuck right in the middle. Sid Harmer bottom. Outside is Rick Dusckas, and Harmer's going to go from 4th to 2nd to the turn number 2. So now the Harmer's at the front of the field. Dad leads him off turn number 4. Son holds on to spot number 2. And then another father-son battle for the 3 spot. Rick Dusckas holding on to it. Sean Kirby trying to take it away. It's a family affair. The first 4 cars as they work off turn number 2 down the backstretch. Shanahan trying to hold on to the 5 spots. Got company down to the outside. Mike White comes alongside him over in turn number 3 and 4. They're side by side, tracing that lead battle off turn number 4. That's the battle for the 5th spot on the field. Shanahan has it. Mike White wants it. Down into turn number 1 and 2.
That was a nice canoe today.
No, it wasn't.
Right here. He like skimmed his back bumper.
Well, they go down into turn number 3 and 4, one lap car right in the way. Gage Howard holding on to that spot, tries to get out of the way, does a great job going to the bottom of the racetrack, letting our leaders work around the outside. Sid Harmer Sr. works off turn number 2. He'll go racing down the backstretch, 2 car lengths out in front of his son as they race down the backstretch. Family Affair out in front. This is the way they were a few weeks back, and Junior came and took the race away from the dad on the last couple of laps. We'll have to see what happens here tonight. They work off turn number 3, down off turn number 4. Sid Harmer Jr. chasing Sid Harmer Sr. And Sean Kirby now gets by his dad as he'll get out in front of Rick Dusckas. He'll take over the number 2 spot. So it's father, son, son, father down the backstretch into turn number 3 this time. Out in front of the field, the Family Affair continuing out here.
And another father.
Cross flags are up. We are halfway home this time by, and that battle out front continues to shape up as Sid Harmer Jr. now gets to the inside of his father down the backstretch. Sid Harmer Jr. looking to take the spot away. He'll come to the inside down to turn number 3 and 4. Dad goes up the hill, opens the door to the outside, just way to the top side of the racetrack. Junior's going to have the lead this time off turn number 4. Sid Harmer Jr. drives down the front stretch. He'll take over the lead spot. The senior goes back in the number 2 spot. Back behind him, another father-son battle as Sean Kirby goes up the hill. Rick Dusckas now looks underneath them as they work down the backstretch. That's another father-son battle down into turn number 3 and 4. Ryan Shanahan, one breaking up the party right now because a couple of father-sons behind him, Mike White and Justin White, chasing him into turn number 4. So they'll work off turn number 2. That battle continuing now. Junior going to take him off turn number 2 down the backstretch. 3 car lengths out in front of Sid Harmer Sr. down the backstretch. Now Sean Kirby about 4 car lengths out in front of Rick Dusckas. Holds on to the number 3 spot as they work through turn number 3 and 4. Ryan Shanahan doing a great job keeping his car right in the middle of Speedway. He'll hold that 4 spot as they come racing down the front stretch. Mike White trying to hold on to the 4 spot right now, but here comes Justin White getting a nose underneath them. So another father-son battle is over in turn number 2. And Sid Harmer Jr. smoke on the number 24, or the 14. And Sid Harmer Jr. is going to pull off to the infield. And a tough break for the young man out of Gardner. And yellow flag is going to wave. We got a car around over in turn number 4. 1 car spun around. Row number 3, that'll be Remington Marquette on the inside of their last row with Terry Gardner. Outside him, we get ready to go back to green. Off turn number 4, green flag is back in the air. Sid Harmer gets a beautiful restart, but he's going to drive all the way off the top of the racetrack over at turn number 2. All the way off the top side, and Sid Harmer Sr. is going to go from the front of the field to the very back in about 400 yards. He went all the way to the back of the field. Sean Kirby will be your leader down the front stretch. Kirby down to number 1 and 2. Brings him into turn number 2 this time. Ryan Shanahan holds on to the number 2 spot. Here comes Mike White along. Mike White's now got company down the inside. Here comes Justin White. Now Kirby's off the racetrack. Ryan Shanahan just drove underneath him. And our leaders both having a hard time keeping the car out of the Speedway. Ryan Shanahan back up to the number 2 spot. Side by side with him and Sean Kirby down to turn number 1 and 2. Kirby drives right back by on the outside. Works off turn number 2. Shanahan back to second. Side-by-side battle between Mike White and Justin White down the backstretch. And Justin White comes to the inside. He'll look to take the spot away from Dad over in turn number 3 and 4. Our third of our father-son battles here out on the Speedway is for the battle for the 3rd spot. And Justin White is going to drop out in front of Dad over in turn number 2. Back up front, Ryan Shanahan trying to close the gap on Sean Kirby as they work off turn number 2 down the backstretch. Kirby with about 4 car lengths now down to turn number 3 and 4 as Ryan Shanahan tries to close that gap. Here comes that battle with Justin White and Mike White. Mike White's going to go to the outside of the Speedway. Justin White down to the inside of the racetrack as they work off turn number 4 down the front stretch. And Justin White's now got his sights set on the 2nd spot. He'll look to the inside of Ryan Shanahan over in turn number 2. Shanahan does a nice job top, keeps the car right down to the bottom of the racetrack.
18.
And we got one around over in turn number 2. Remington Marquette have to see if he can get it fired back up or not, as he sits right at the bottom of the speedway, and he will sit there. Caution flag is going to have to wave.
Yellow for turn 2.
Well, the caution flag comes out with just one more lap to go, and Remington Marquette got twisted around sideways over in turn number 2, facing the outside of the speedway. So Sean Shanahan will go outside of him, Justin White to the inside of the second row, Mike White along on the outside, and then it's Stephen Gilmore down on the inside of the next row as we get ready to go back to racing action one more time. Green and white will come out together. Sean Kirby going to try to hold off a hard-charging Ryan Shanahan and the White family right behind him. Green and white will come out together off turn number 4. Kirby with a good restart drives up the hill. He'll be your leader down to turn number 1 and 2. They go down into turn number 2. Sean Kirby trying to make his stick at the bottom of the racetrack. Shanahan looking right at his back bumper. Sean Kirby does a great job getting off the bottom of turn number 2 this time, racing out into 3 and 4. Shanahan tried to hold on to the number 2 spot. Here comes Justin White on his back bumper as they head to turn number 3 and 4 for the final time. Checker flags are coming out. Sean Kirby's going to score the win. Ryan Shanahan will be second. Third belongs to the number 1X the 7X of Justin White, followed by Mike White, and the 690 of Sid Harmer Sr.
7.
Well, another wild affair for our Fabco Pro Street Stocks here tonight, and Sean Kirby's going to find his way into victory lane once again here, getting all the equipment off inside the car, the steering wheel, belts coming off, helmet already off inside the car. As he gets ready to climb out on the backside, put your hands together. Your Fabco Pro Street Stock winner is Sean Kirby. Sean, congratulations. Man, I'll tell you what, week in and week out, you guys have been putting on one heck of a show and another wild affair here tonight.
Yeah, that was good, clean racing tonight. I kind of feel bad for Junior, Tonight was his night. We had nothing for him, it's just tough luck, I guess.
Yeah, and you raced your way up there. Ryan Shanahan gave you quite a battle towards the end, too.
Yeah, I always like racing with Ryan. I'm glad to see that he's up front. It's about time.
People you need to thank, Sean.
Yeah, I got to thank Jesse's Pet Spa, Chip Phelps Jr., Diamond Cut, Jesse's Race Gear, DNS Garage, the whole crew, my family,
So 3 father and son battles out here tonight had to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's always fun. That's the best kind of racing.
All right, well, congratulations. Sean Kirby is going to be your Fabco Pro Street Stock feature winner here this evening. What? They're yelling at me again.